The first half of 2023 is ending on a high note, as sequels that have been years in the making finally launch, major new chapters in long-running franchises are arriving, and several beloved classics are getting HD makeovers. Not just a good-looking sequel with plenty of new characters to master, Street Fighter VI is reinventing how fighting games are played with its updated controls and an expanded system for multiplayer brawls. Beyond those big releases, you can also look forward to new motorsports, quirky indies, and some tactical action against alien organisms that have no respect for your face's personal space. Number 1 Killer Frequency, June 1st. It's a late night at KFAM radio station, and something strange is happening on the airwaves. As disc jockey Forrest Nash, you'll need to solve puzzles and spin some classic tunes if you want to keep your listeners from being filleted by a local serial killer. Solve riddles, meet a variety of small-town personalities, and indulge in a playlist of 80s classics while you attempt to outwit a killer out for blood. Number 2. Street Fighter VI, June 2nd. Capcom's latest entry in the Street Fighter series isn't just shaping up to be hard-hitting evolution of the fighting game franchise, but also its most approachable entry yet. With a modernized control scheme that makes throwing Hadokens easier than ever, new modes to build your very own legendary fighter in, and a roster filled with memorable faces, Street Fighter VI is shaping up to be a huge leap forward for the series that pulls no punches. Number 3 Super Mega Baseball 4, June 2nd. MLB. The show might be the best-in-class baseball simulator, but if you're looking for a more arcade-inspired take on hitting home runs and stealing bases, then look no further than Super Mega Baseball 4. The latest sequel in the series now has more than 200 stylized versions of pros to add to your team, new features, the return of familiar modes, and updated graphics. Fan-requested features have also been added, including an expanded trait system and several new stadiums. Number 4 We Love Katamari Reroll Plus Royal Reverie, June 2nd. To paraphrase the eternal lyrics of Limp Bizkit, it's time to keep on rollin'. Katamari games are some of the best chaos simulators on the market as you roll all of existence up into a giant ball of memories. For this package, the second game in the Katamari series gets updated with improved graphics and gameplay enhancements, while Royal Reverie is a trip back in time as you experience the childhood of the king of all cosmos. Just remember to always keep on rolling. Number 5 Amnesia. The Bunker, June 6th. A desolate bunker underneath the battlefields of World War I is spooky enough, but throw in homicidal nightmares lurking in the shadows and you've got a recipe for a survival horror experience that's bound to give you sleepless nights. As French soldier Henry Clement, you've got a noisy dynamo flashlight to keep the monsters at bay, scarce supplies to scavenge, and an ever-present threat reacting to your every move and sound. Every action has a consequence, and it'll be up to you to bear the brunt of them as you delve deeper into terrifying territory. Number 6 Diablo IV, June 6th. After years of development, Blizzard's finally ready to unleash the terror of the burning hells and high heavens on players once again. Diablo IV looks like a return to the dark and gritty roots of the original games, and is set in a version of Sanctuary that's still under siege from demonic and angelic forces. New heroes will need to rise up to face ancient enemies, and like in previous games, there will be plenty of enemies to slay, loot to collect, and stories to uncover in the next chapter of Diablo. Number 7 MotoGP 23, June 8th. While the grid might have very few challenges to give developer Milestone a run for its money, the studio's recent MotoGP games have been terrific simulators of this captivating two-wheeled sport. MotoGP 23 is an iterative sequel in this annual series, but it's firing on all cylinders with its gorgeous graphics, authentic handling, and new AI-enhanced gameplay systems that make the game more accessible than ever before. Number 8 Layers of Fear, June 15th. If you're a fan of Frights and you missed out on the first 2 Layers of Fear games, then good news, as you'll be able to catch up on them now that they've been rebuilt on the Unreal 5 canvas. Layers of Fear and Layers of Fear 2, as well as all of their respective DLC, get remade in this collection and enhanced with ray tracing support, HDR visuals, and up to 4K resolution. It's a fresh visual spin on 2 cult classic games, and whether you're focused on your finishing brushstrokes in the painter or waiting for the final curtain call in the actor, you'll have to prepare yourself for some of the finest psychological horrors as you face your fears one last time. Number 9. Crash Team Rumble, June 20th. Crash Bandicoot is back, but instead of dashing through levels collecting mystical masks and Wumpa Fruit, he's teaming up with his allies and enemies for some 4v4 multiplayer action. Crash Team Rumble puts a new spin on the series, as teams will battle it out in arenas to see who can gather the most Wumpa Fruit and stop the competition from doing the same. A Crash-themed multiplayer game might sound weird, but as we've discovered, it has a lot of potential thanks to its competitive angle and energetic match flow. Number 10 Aliens, Dark Descent, June 20th. A new Alien game always seems to be lurking in the shadows, but Aliens, Dark Descent is putting a different spin on the spooky action-packed franchise. Instead of going in guns blazing with your colonial marines, you'll need to come up with a solid plan and execute it properly if you want to avoid having your face introduced to hug-happy critters. Mixing the strategy of tactical RPGs with some lateral thinking, you'll need to lead your soldiers in real time to stop a new and terrifying xenomorph outbreak. Number 11 Final Fantasy XVI June 22nd. Almost a decade has passed since the last core-numbered entry in the Final Fantasy series, and this time, Square Enix is focusing on delivering a new experience in its iconic franchise. Featuring a more action-packed tale of rampaging Acons and warring kingdoms, the next chapter in the Final Fantasy series is aiming to be a more mature adventure. There's still plenty of swords and sorcery to sink your teeth into, and if you're a PlayStation 5 console owner, this game might just be one of the best-looking games on that system. Number 12 Sonic Origins Plus. June 23rd. Last year's Sonic Plus collection was hailed as a great remaster of classic Sonic games, and this year's expanded collection is an all-in-one bundle that includes the Sonic Origins base game and the Plus expansion pack, 12 Sonic Game Gear titles, and a playable Knuckles and Sonic CD. As an added bonus, Amy Rose is a playable character for the first time ever in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. Previously released add-on content is also included, as extreme missions, mirror mode, new character animations, additional backgrounds, and new music all add up to make this a definitive collection of Sonic's greatest hits. Number 13 Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, June 27th. Does the idea of exploring hellish new domains, waging war against godlike beings, and crossing fists with martial arts masters sound too intense for you? Then for a change of pace, check out Story of Seasons. Spread your roots on your new farm in the peaceful town of Forgotten Valley, live a carefree life, and maybe even find love among the town's friendly folk in the return of this farming classic. Number 14 AEW, Fight Forever, June 29th. Ever since All Elite Wrestling hit the scene, the new pro wrestling organization has been teasing a video game that harkens back to the glory days of steel chairs, ladder matches, and no-holds-barred brawls. AEW Fight Forever is that game, and it's being developed by former WWE tag team partner Ukes. Plenty of AEW talent, multiple match types, a robust career mode, tons of customization options, and a lot of blood is being teased for this game, which is being hyped up as the second coming of WWF No Mercy.